What is something you silently judge people for? Watching videos at full volume in public. I don't understand this. When I hear people shit-talking someone due to their appearance, clothes. So fucking shallow, but it's not worth calling people like that out. Littering. I hate when PPL leave their paper coffee cup on a random shelf in Walmart when they're done with it. That's so gross and entitled. Throw away your own garbage. How they treat clerks. Being obliviously in the way. Like getting to the end of an escalator and just standing there. Or standing with a group of people in a doorway or aisle. Or stopping to stare at your phone in the middle of the sidewalk. Just move out of the way like 2 steps and everyone's life is easier. Being shit parents. Gossiping. Like people who only gossip because you know that if they gossip to you about everyone else, they're gossiping about you to other people too. Pushing their insecurities onto other people. Lack of self-awareness. Leaving the bathroom without washing your hands. I'm not touching that door handle with my bare hands when I leave and definitely won't be shaking your hand later. Edit. Some mod banned me for no reason. Screw this sub. I bet he doesn't wash his hands either. Littering, chewing with their mouth open, drunkenly touching people. People WHO don't throw away their trash at fast food places. Nothing screams disgusting to me more than someone who leaves all their crap at their table and leaves. When people type loose instead of lose. People who keep their dogs on chains outside 24/7. Loud ass. Tweaked. Motorcycles in an urban area. Am not alone there though. As apparent by everybody angrily turning in the same direction when those idiots drive by. Edit. Load to loud. Not being able to accept other viewpoints and not ever admitting that they're wrong on any point. Kinda niche, but I silently judge people who do extremely hard hikes, dangerous hikes woefully unprepared or wearing sandals, sneakers, inappropriate footwear. I live in Colorado and too often we get headlines related to these kinds of people. There is no excuse with all the resources available to research the hike you're doing. Ultimately, S&R is going to have to use their resources to save your ass from something that was of your own doing. But I judge silently because I believe that sometimes you do need to learn the hard way. People who are just super judgy. Like they always have something negative to say about someone. Those who tend to play their favorite music so loud and on speakers so all of the people around him can hear the music. Like for the love of G. Put on some earphones or AirPods or headphones. Sheesh. Additional notes. Reason why I silently judge them is because I am a tiny lady and if I even attempt to tell them to lower it down they will just look at me and laugh while shaking their silly heads and just continue to play the music. Again, I am just sharing an experience I had when I was riding a public transpo. All of us are from the graveyard shift and someone decided to play his song so loud that we cannot even think. We cannot even have some nap. People talking to someone on the phone in a store on speaker. No one wants to hear you and your convo. If they're disagreeable and never grateful for anything or anyone. People who talk with their mouths full. Parents swearing at their kids in public. When people don't wash their hands after going to the bathroom. Fat people who I see running. I judge them in a good way. I always root for them. People who listen to music without headphones. People who feel the need to put their phone on speakerphone and speak so loudly everyone can hear them. The only time I feel I judge people like this is when I'm driving. Speed up. Pay attention to the road. Use your signals. And don't be an idiot. It's not that hard. People that stop in the middle of the entrance to a store or stop and block aisles to talk to someone they know. I just assume they're too stupid to have spatial awareness. Throwing trash out the window of their car. People who act victimized when in reality they've never been a victim of anything in their lives, may or may not have some family members that do this, and it drives me fucking insane. I understand being in a toxic or shitty relationship and that some people can't leave. I understand that. But I've met some girls who are balls deep obsessed with their shitty-ass boyfriends and think that they can change them or think they're in love when the guy's an asshole and a bum. My neighbor, for example, cares more about her druggy boyfriend than her own child. Stuff like that I will judge you for. Being shitty to service workers. When I see you just leave your cart in the parking lot and not return it, if you do this you're an actual cunt. Cropping dogs' ears. When somebody whines about how everybody else in the world but them are idiots. When a parent gives a child a unique name that's obviously not specific to their culture, but a misspelled or made-up name like Spencer or Olivia or Mason. Chewing with mouth open. Judge, talking loud on the phone in public. Judge, not returning your cart. Judge, not holding the door for people. Believe it or not. Judge. People who think that they are right even when they're wrong. Like shit admit that you don't know everything please. How they treat their kids. I am a drive school instructor now. After years of 911 dispatch, and while I see less general shitty behavior, I still see some. Like, when I am teaching these kids and they are super amazingly self-criticizing and sensitive about everything, only to find out that when they're practicing with family they're treated like absolute shit. Blamed for not already knowing how to do everything perfectly and loudly yelled at for mistakes. I had one student who I had to use my instructor break with. For a pretty minor reason all things considered. But was white-knuckling the steering wheel and visibly shaking. I asked what was wrong. Since I didn't think the moment was that stressful or bad, and they told me they were used to being yelled at severely for mistakes like that, and cried a bit when I told them mistakes happen and that's okay. I cannot stand parents like that. Coughing and sneezing directly into their hands. Having multiple children they clearly weren't ready for lol. Driving like an asshole. How they talk to others. Though I'm not always as silent on this as I would like to be. Anyone who puts themselves smack dab in the middle of public paths. This goes for grocery stores, roadways, sidewalks, and so on. Get to the side, you selfish fuck. Smoking cigarettes in the car with kids in it, no. Not picking up their dog's poop and taking it with them. People who rev their engines. Stop. You're not cool. You're just annoying. Being bad parents in public. Specifically being aggressive or letting kids be wild and get in other people's way. Lacking integrity. Most people take for granted they have it, then when it comes time to demonstrate it there is always an excuse as to why they don't. If you can only demonstrate integrity when it's convenient or easy, then you don't have integrity. Rudeness and all its iterations. Littering. Treating service staff poorly. Being insensitive to people who are disadvantaged due to poverty, disability or racial, cultural background. It costs nothing to be polite and kind. It says more about you than the person you're being rude to when you act poorly towards others. That said, if you are being actively racist or sexist or ableist, I will get in your face. Because being silent only helps the oppressor and gives them permission to continue to be awful. Eat with their mouths open. throwing their cigarettes out the window, on the ground, especially at the beach or parks, spitting on the ground in public. Bonus points for dirty ass chew, sitting in a drive-through and not moving until someone honks BC. You're on your phone. Really depends on how long it takes you to notice the line has moved. Bad car seat safety with kids, it takes 2 seconds to properly buckle. If you're too lazy for that, I'm judging. Not returning their cart at the grocery store. If they get up from the table and won't clean the crumbs and wash their dishes. When in a supermarket or other type of store, and someone stops in the middle of an aisle, blocking anyone else from getting past like dude. If you're stopping in an aisle, move to one side. It's not fucking hard. So stop being an inconsiderate piece of shit. I shouldn't have to ask you to move. I could care less. People who don't clear their own tables in McDonald's or other fast food places. It literally takes a few seconds to go over to the provided bins. People who walk in groups 2 or 3 wide on a narrow footpath but don't even try to move for those coming the other way. I get that most are oblivious, but the ones I really judge are those who think they've just won a game of chicken or need others to move to feel validated. When they say, supposedly, instead of, supposedly. FaceTiming people at max volume in stores. You look like an idiot. Letting their kids act like demons in public. Really loud muffler on your car. Lip injections, they look so obvious most of the time and botched. Not washing hands after using public restroom. When people have their dog off leash in public places. When I'm at work, on register and someone handing me crumpled up bills. Like, really, you couldn't straighten this out?